All right. We are live, live, live. You can see our friend Phil was here, but he went away for a minute. I realized that the time got away from me. So here I am to get this show running. Uh, he'll be here back. Man, see, I can actually see his back room there. That's cool. See aliens and see Jaws, whatnot. So this is Patrick from Have Cheetah Will View, and we are talking to our good friend Phil from Phil's Creepy Vids. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Glad you're here. Uh, you can meet our good friend Phil if you haven't already. He is one of the nicest guys in the horror community, if not all of YouTube. Uh, we are going to be talking about horror today. Uh, he has got one of the best film collections and figure collections in our community. Um, but more importantly, Phil is a genuinely very, very nice guy. He he supports a lot of people in our community. He runs a live stream once a week, um, which has evolved into a support stream. Before it was just strictly a haul stream, but he has evolved it to where he is more interested now in helping other channels grow. So he'll do a combination of horror, talk a little films, and then he encourages folks to connect with each other. So that is a good thing, and it's very enjoyable. He does his stream like it goes on between anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on how much time he has. He also is a part-time contributor to the Coast live stream on Saturday nights, along with H&S Collectibles, Cody, Ben for the Cadaver Club, um, David's Horror, and Mark of Horror. I don't know what happened to John. We'll have to ask Phil what happened to Project Ellsworth. He has not been on the show for quite a while, so I'm not sure what happens or whatnot. But that stream goes on every Saturday night at about 9:15, and it can go anywhere about 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes they can crank it up though. Phil is on there most Saturday nights, unless there's a UFC fight, and if that's the case, then he comes on afterwards. And of course, we all ask him how the fights were. Um, so Phil is, like I said, he's one of the movers and shakers here, and I wanted to interview him. I did a little room tour on IG Live about no 6 7 months ago, and I've always thought in the back of my head I always wanted to talk to him about his collection and how he got started and how it has evolved because he's got an awesome collection. Um, I mean, he's definitely one of the top three in our community as far as films goes. He collects posters, figures, Funko Pops, T-shirts. Hard to find boutique films. Uh, he collects 4K, Blu-ray, DVD. As long as it's fun, as long as it's horror, that's the golden rule. It's got to be a horror film for it to go. So he went to step out to make some coffee. Was normally I go up at 7:45, but I got way late a little bit, so I came back and here we go. Um, Hopefully everybody's having a good day today, considering what's been going on in the world. I know it seems sort of weird to be talking about normal life during a time of crisis, but what can we do, right? Hi, Fluff. Ask me questions about the Whit Sundays. Do you know there's 74 Whit Sundays Island? Yeah, after we got off last night, I went and looked up the Whit Sundays to read about them. Yeah, Team Ukraine. I was really surprised to see all the anti-protesters in Moscow. That really surprised me. I didn't think they would let that happen. I'm still not sure they are. Um, that could have been, like, listen, we're going to let some people get in here for the cameras and anti-protest. So it looks like that we're hearing this, but I'm not really buying that. I want to see reporters on the ground telling me that's a real protest. Call me cynical. Yeah. Those who can't want to share us out, that'll be awesome. I'm going to, but I wanted to do it really fast. So, like, if I saw you, that I could tell you, I could impress you with my knowledge about the Whit Sundays. I felt sort of funny yesterday. I was like, "Is that your last name?" Oh, brother. Oh my gosh, he must have been laughing at me yesterday. I'm telling you. And he's back. Okay, thank you all for coming in. I see we have 6 watching and 6 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Haddonfield Slasher in the crib. All right, welcome.
What's up?
Oh man, well, okay. So yesterday, I did a live stream really late at night, and so our good friend Fluff and stuff. I don't know if hopefully you've connected with each other. I'll drop some links down here. So she lives in Australia, and her husband live in Australia, and they go fishing, and they're always saying hello from the Whit Sundays. And I thought the Whit Sundays, I thought that was their last name. I said, that's your last name? Are you the Whit Sundays?
Okay.
And no, the Whit Sundays are a chain of islands, of 74 islands in Australia.
Cool.
So I was like, I was just like, I felt so silly.
What's up, David?
Hi, Casey, David, and Sam. Al Lucard in the house. Thanks, David. See, now David's coming in with an Australian accent.
I see that.
I bet you David knows where the Whit Sundays are too, though. So,
Patrick, have you heard anything about this bot that's going around, Kissy Face or something? Going into live streams, a bot, and making comments in the chat.
Haven't seen that yet. We do get
I've seen quite a few live streams where they're just floored by this kissy faced bot. So if anyone has the wrench or whatever in the chat and you see kissy face bot come, get rid of them immediately. Don't click on the links.
Well, yeah, I got my co-pilot, my wrench is in the house.
Excellent.
So I'm telling you, man, Mr. Bones is the top-notch wrench that I've known since I've been on the tube.
What's up, Mr. Bones?
Actually, him and Jamie Hart.
Oh yeah, Jamie Hart's awesome.
Ooh, she's really good. Hey, Quentin. Hey, John. How are you, Justin?
I see you up there. You.
All right, fellow Canadian. I think. Didn't you have you moved yet to Kitchener, Quentin?
I think that's in the spring, he said.
In the spring, okay. So I think pretty soon, by the summertime, we'll probably be seeing some collabs between you guys. I'm
hoping, man.
That would be actually really cool. All right, guys, we'll give it a couple more minutes to get you guys in here, and then we'll get this party rolling. Those who can, those who feel like they want to, please share us out. That would be awesome.
June or July.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard. I just know that generally within the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes of going live, we do get bots that come on in. It's like as soon as they recognize that there's a live stream going on, so we'll start getting them.
Yeah. Have you had bots in your live streams before?
Yeah, but we just jump on it really bad, or really, real on it.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. Greetings, how are you doing, Phaser? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, John's mentioning the Pennywise you got. I take it that I take it you were a horror fan from way long ago, right?
Yep. So I watched The Exorcist when I was 5 years old, and I was absolutely hooked. Exorcist at 5.
Man, 5 years old. Did you remember any of it or all of it or?
I definitely remember being 5 years old watching The Exorcist and not really understanding what I was watching, but loving every minute of it. So
Now, was your mom a big horror fan, or was it just something that was on TV?
not really.
So she was.
Not really.
Yeah,
I remember that one of my earliest like gifts of horror was, I think I was 6 or 7, and my parents gave me Horror Express on VHS. The Telly Savalas, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. I remember watching that VHS over and over and over again. Horror Express. Now, of course, I have the Arrow Blu-ray.
Hey, Rick's in here. He's saying Phil's.
What's up, Rick?
Rick's the
What's
best.
up, buddy? He's the best.
Yeah, Rick cracks me up. So you were always into horror then. So did you start reading? When you started reading, did you gravitate to horror books?
Yep. Well? Stephen King, Dean Koontz. Yeah.
Who was your favorite writer growing up?
Probably I read the most of Stephen King.
Now here's a question for you: do you think his writing has improved, or do you think it has declined over the years?
I haven't really read much of his new stuff, so I can't really say, but I know he's still popular.
Yeah, I think it's more popular because it's a known name. I don't think it's so much cutting edge anymore.
Let's check his net worth.
Oh, I'm sure he's worth, probably $500,000, if not more. That's a question that I'll throw you guys to the chat as well. Stephen King, is he still consistently good, or was his earlier
$450 million he's worth?
I was only off 550. Is Stephen King still one of your favorite writers to read, or is he just more like comfort food?
I don't really read that many stories anymore. I usually gravitate toward like horror movie reference guides and stuff like that.
So, do you read the horror history books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Horror movie reference guides. The way books on how movies got made. I love that.
So
there's one called Deranged, the true story of Ed Gein. Love that.
Do you do a lot of true horror too? True life crime. Do you read a lot?
Yeah, like if there's horror, like Ed Gein, a lot of horror movies are based on his crimes. So like true stories like that, or Ted Bundy, stuff like that.
Do you think that we exploit those?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good answer, honest answer.
But I like a good exploitation flick any day.
Yeah, but I'm talking about someone like Charles Manson. They make Charles Manson. Yeah. Do you think that's a good thing, or you think it's just, or you think it's lazy writing, or
sometimes I think it's good entertainment. If they make a Manson movie and I watch it and I'm entertained by it, sure, why not?
Like, do you watch the ones that are like basically like Helter Skelter, a movie like Helter Skelter? Is that Would you say that's the best Charles Manson movie you've ever seen?
Charles Manson movie, it's got to be up there. I know is that the Steve Railsback?
Yeah,
Steve Railsback does a great Charles Manson impersonation.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
definitely up there.
now, as far as that goes, I mean, something like a Quentin Tarantino movie, Once a Time in Hollywood. I mean, I think a movie like Helter Skelter is more like a docudrama that
Yeah,
tends to portray this real story. I mean, is that your kind of is that more horrifying to you as a horror fan more than Tarantino, doing whatever he was doing over in the corner?
probably.
Yeah. Uh, so is it safe to say that you like your horror more grounded in reality? I mean, that's the type of movies you watch.
No, I like all horror.
No,
I like creature features where there's like a alien from outer space killing people. Love that. That's not
sure,
grounded in reality.
sure, those are fun. You got creature features like Jaws.
Love Jaws.
Yeah, I saw the poster in the background when you went to get
That's
coffee.
a jigsaw puzzle I put together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd you keep it there? You put shellac over it, or
Yeah, it's called Mod Podge. So it's like puzzle glue or whatever. So you just put Mod Podge all over the image and it kind of hardens it into one solid poster type of deal.
uh? So when you were growing up, I mean, who was your favorite movie growing up? I mean, you saw The Exorcist, but you were too young to actually say, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's my
I
favorite."
was a Freddy fan as a kid for sure. I had a lot of Freddy up on my wall.
Uh, is he your favorite franchise killer?
Not anymore. Now I'm a Jason fan.
Oh, okay, all right.
Switched over. I'm Team
Well,
Jason.
okay. So what led you to do that?
I don't know, just a better franchise in my opinion.
You think Freddy got too
I'm
silly?
more entertained by the Friday the 13th movies than the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
See,
What's up,
Keith.
Keith?
Keith says hello here. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that is Freddy just got a little bit too silly as he went on.
Yep. Too
Like,
many wisecracks.
yeah,
He wasn't scary anymore.
no, no. How about the remake of Friday the Third of Nightmare? I know people are critical of that movie.
What
Um,
the Jack
I
Earl
mean,
Haley?
oh, I hear everybody in the cast is terrible except for
Is that the one you're talking about?
no, the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, with Jackie Earl Haley
Yeah, I'm
playing
sorry. Yeah,
Freddy.
yeah, Rorschach.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not great.
But I hear he's really good in it. But everything else is dog shit.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, that's got to be real. Is that frustrating to you as a fan when you watch a movie that has potential and it just doesn't work because of circumstances?
Not really. I always just say it is what it is. I'm not really too disappointed when I watch a movie and I'm let down by it.
But I mean, as a
At the end of the day, it's just a movie.
yeah, but you invested time and you invested money in it,
Yeah.
and you continue and you
There's
go after it.
definitely times where I get hyped up for a movie and I haven't seen it for like 2 months, but I've been wanting to see it, and then finally I'll see it and it's not everything I hoped it would be, then I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like every A24 film you watch, right?
No. I like a good A24 film. I still
Really?
haven't seen Lamb.
Okay. How about the other lamb?
The Other Lamb.
Hmm.
What's The Other Lamb?
The ISC Midnight movie.
I haven't seen that one either.
So, oh my gosh. What do you think about people who? What do you think about super fans? Do you think they're?
Super
Do you think?
fans?
Yeah, super fans that are just like, I mean, growing up, were you? I mean, how big of fandom did you think that you were growing up? Were you
Huge.
were you just
I
every
used to
week?
cut so like when horror movies would come out into theaters and there'd be like a newspaper article. I had a big scrapbook and I'd cut out newspaper articles on horror movies and like put them in this horror movie scrapbook of newspaper articles. Like You got to be a pretty big fan to do stuff like that.
Yeah. How old were you when you found Fangoria?
Fangoria, probably like 7 or 8 when I started getting Fangoria. There were some earlier magazines. I got Gore Zone, and I think there was Video Zone.
There was Monster Magazine.
There was Toxic Waste or something like that with Toxie on the cover of the first episode.
How about Starlog? Do you like
Starlog? I used to get Starlog. Yep.
Yeah. I used to get the magazines. I used to get Fangoria and remember Femme Fatales?
Femme Fatales, yep.
Yep, I used to get that too. Publisher, he killed himself. That was
really?
Yeah, it was a real shocker. I remember they closed down the magazine. That he I guess he was having some trouble, and then he just couldn't overcome it. And after he did, the Femme Fatales, pretty much that was the end of it. Now, did you did you used to live at the bookstores too, though? You go when you weren't at the theater? I mean,
I used to live in the video stores renting VHS.
Now, how long? Now, what was that? Okay, so what was the experience like with you? Was it something that you look forward to, or was it something that once you walked in through the door, you were like, "Uh-oh, holy shit," because you don't know what to get?
No, I look forward to going to the video store. Yep, for sure. I knew at some point I would watch all of them, so I mean, you go get 2-3 movies at a time and crank them out in a day or two, and return them and get 3 more.
So but you say your parents weren't really horror fans though, but they were very liberal towards
yeah,
you.
Not really. My dad would watch some of them with me, but afterwards he'd always kind of shake his head and be like, "That was stupid." I'd be like, "What are you talking about? That was awesome."
Did your dad have a favorite?
I grew up in a small town who basically the little mom and pop video stores would rent any movie to anyone, no matter what their age. So, I mean, I was walking into video stores at 7 years old, renting, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
They just got to know you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, was there any one movie that you kept on renting out over and over and over?
I rented The Thing on Laserdisc a lot. There was this place where you could rent a Laserdisc player, and then they had Laserdiscs for rent. So I'd always go in and rent the player and get The Thing.
Oh my gosh! Now, how old were you when you used to do that?
I don't know, probably like, I don't know, what year did The Thing come out? 1980?
82?
Yeah, so 8, 9.
Wow, okay.
I remember having birthday parties. I used to have birthday parties every year and have a slumber party where all my friends would come over and spend the night.
Right.
My dad would always rent the Laserdisc player, and I remember renting like the one year we rented The Thing, Strange Invaders on Laserdisc.
Right.
We rented what was that other one? The Changeling. We'd always rent The Changeling on Laserdisc.
Great movie.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we'd just have slumber parties and stay up all night watching all these spooky Laserdiscs. Halloween 3 I rented on Laserdisc. We were 9. So there you go, 9 years old.
Well, we're actually doing pretty good. It looks like we made it into 35 minutes into the stream before we got our first bot that Bones will kill here in a minute, or Keith will kill in a minute.
I don't see a bot.
They may have already got it. Yep.
Or maybe I just don't see them since I'm on. Yeah. I'm not seeing the YouTube's chat. I'm seeing like the.
You know what I like to do? I think as a category, if like as a channel, channel operator, you should have like a little area where you put all your wrenches behind, to the side. Like these are your moderators, right? And
Mm,
then underneath every side moderator, they should have like a little X mark for every bot they kill. They get
nice.
like an airplane, like a fighter ace,
There you
like
go.
yeah. And then you can reward them. Remember, they kill 100, you send them like a gift card or something. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Uh, well, that's actually pretty good. Most of the time, we get them coming in at 10 minutes after a live stream starts. Um, obviously, because I know we all know you're a huge boxing and UFC fan. So you must have gotten to sports too. Were you active in sports as you grew up?
Uh,
Did your attention divide? Like horror and becoming
yes. So I played soccer for a few years as a kid, and I played baseball a few years as a kid, but never really went anywhere with it, and just kind of gravitated towards watching horror movies.
So what was first, the horror or the sports?
The horror for sure.
And then what was it what was it
Uh,
like in high school? Did you have a lot of friends that liked the same thing in high school? I mean,
yeah, I had a good little group of people who liked to watch horror that I'd hang out with. I had one a best friend, Stuart. And him and I would in high school, once we got our driver's license, we'd go once a week every Friday, drive into London and go to the theater and see the latest horror movie that came out. Because back then, like literally every Friday, a new horror movie was in theaters.
yeah, he used to
Back
have like
in the
a
day, I
secret
remember
window.
seeing House in the theater with him. I saw House 2. We went and saw The Gate. We went and saw Sleepwalkers. Like so many movies I've seen in the theater. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. I always liked that too when I was growing up. We used to go to the
Yeah,
theater all the time.
once a week, every Friday night, we'd go to drive into London and go to the movies.
What about the midnight movies? Did they have midnight movies?
We didn't really do that. We'd go to like the movie that started at like 9 and we'd get out and it'd be like 11:30. We'd go through McDonald's drive through and get chicken nuggets for the drive home.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uh, now, uh, now, when did you get into like actually starting to collect your movies? I mean,
I'd say when I was about 14 or 15, I started collecting VHS. I think one of my first VHS I picked up was,
The Exorcist.
no, Jason Lives.
Okay. How soon did you get The Exorcist?
I got that big box of The Exorcist with a VHS, but I think I got it later down the way. I'm sure I had the copy of The Exorcist on VHS pretty early.
There's our good friend Mary here. Thank you for coming in, Mary. Hope you're feeling better. Hope your feet are feeling better. Yeah, those were the days, huh, Al? No doubt. Yeah, I used to go with my little squad of friends too. We go to the theater every week and watch movies too. And then on the weekends, if they had a good horror midnight film, we'd go up there and see it. That's how I saw Dawn of the Dead. I saw Nightmares. I saw Cat's Eye.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw tons of midnight movies. And then I went to the drive-in. Did you guys have drive-ins when you were
Yep.
you were growing up? Yeah.
Yep. My parents would take us to the drive-in.
Really? Your mom would actually watch films with you then?
Yep. I remember seeing Back to the Future at the drive-in.
Okay, I was gonna say your mom wasn't watching horror films with you.
No.
No.
It was a double feature, Back to the Future and Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha is an old movie about college kids who play this paintball game around their college. And then they go on a trip to Paris, and the one kid meets a beautiful Russian spot, but she turns out to be a spy. And then he gets set up in all this espionage and basically is playing gotcha for real with real guns. And it's a great movie
I
if you
remember
haven't seen
that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was Anthony Edwards. I remember that one.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I actually saw one of the scariest movies that I ever saw was with Anthony Edwards. he did a movie called Miracle Mile. Did you ever
Yeah,
see that? Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen that.
yeah. That one doesn't. That one sticks with you. Uh, how did you like? Did you always did you have a trouble watching any other type of movies other than horror, or were you just, did you like it?
No,
What's your favorite non-horror film?
my favorite non-horror,
Like Back to the Future.
yeah, I like the Terminator. I love Terminator 2. I love the whole Terminator franchise. Um, yeah, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, saw those in theater.
So not much for the dramas then, right?
Yeah, like I saw Titanic in theater. I saw Forrest Gump in theater. Goonies is fantastic.
Uh,
But yeah, I'll pretty much watch anything except for musicals or westerns.
yeah, I can see that.
I don't watch musicals or westerns. I think David the other day said he watched that one with Johnny Depp, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. And I said, "Isn't that a musical?" I said, "I've never seen that." And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Isn't it a musical?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's why I've never seen that."
Right. Oh, so what about musicals? Turns you off on it?
I don't know. Just not my thing.
But you did see Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. Pretty much everybody's seen that.
Sure, sure. Now, did you ever go to the theater to see it?
Nope.
Oh man, of all the movies that you didn't see at the theater, I wish you could have seen that one.
Yeah.
That
I remember my sister went one year to a midnight showing on Halloween of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and she took all these props that they throw at the screen in certain areas. Like she took a loaf of bread, and
Yep.
all this stuff with her. And I'm like, where is my sister going tonight? Oh, she's going to the movies. Why is she taking this big knapsack full of props? Oh, it's just something on Halloween. And I was like, okay, have fun.
Now,
Sweeney Todd is good, says David Soar. I don't care. I still won't watch it. I don't care how good something is. I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I don't. Well, did you say?
Now, I did see twice at the Pantages Theater in Toronto the live performance of Phantom of the Opera, and I love that because it was like a live musical. You know what I mean? You're like there seeing it on stage live. So yeah, Phantom of the Opera live was fantastic.
Did you see Repo Man, the Genetic Opera?
I have seen Repo Man, the Genetic Opera with Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
No, but it did have Sarah Brightman in it. That's the only thing that really mattered. But you did see it. So why did I know that? I guess who played who's in Phantom of the Opera when you saw it? Was it Sarah Brightman?
I have no idea who played anybody.
That's probably what it was. I bet you saw it when she was touring in it.
Send More Paramedics has a question that's good.
Okay.
If I had a free pass to meet any horror icon in history, alive or deceased, who would it be? Probably, I always say lunch, an hour. If you had a lunch hour, so an hour lunch with any actor, living or dead, who would it be? I'd probably go to lunch with Vincent Price, just because he's been in so many iconic horror movies, and he was just such how do you say it? Eccentric. Yeah.
It's a shame.
So yeah, I'd like to pick his brain.
It's sort of a shame how his career went from being pretty good serious actor, toward the end he was just doing a lot of comedic parts, wasn't really, he was just basically, parroting his characters.
Yeah.
It's a real shame because I think he deserved a lot better than that.
Yeah, I remember one of his last roles was in Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo, the cops that kept being brought back to life.
I've managed not to see that.
You've never seen Dead Heat?
No.
You should see that.
Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo, you should see that.
Wasn't that the first A24 film?
I have no idea.
I think it was.
I don't think so.
It wasn't. I'm just having fun with that. You know what though? I like watching Joe Piscopo on Saturday Night Live. He was actually pretty good there, but
Yeah.
I don't think he ever translated very well to film. That one had
The Blob versus the Thing. I'm gonna give it to the Thing. That's for MKF 30.
that's funny. The Blob and the Thing. I'm thinking. Are you thinking about the X-Men and Fantastic Four? But
Oh, there you go from Al. Dead Heat is on Tubi.
oh Lord.
So if you have Tubi TV, Patrick, after this stream, you should be watching Dead Heat.
I don't know about that, Phil. I don't know. That sort of scares me. I mean, I'm still trying to get over what happened to me when I watched Sidekicks.
I'm going to say that Dead Heat is a step up from Sidekicks.
but Sidekicks had Chuck Norris in it.
I don't care who it has in it.
Are you an action guy too? Because I know you like a horror, but do you like any action movies? Because you mentioned.
Oh yeah, I like action. Yep, I have a big tin of the Rambo movies. I like the Rocky movies. Yeah, I like action, cliffhanger, stuff like that.
So a big '80s action hero guy.
I'm gonna double check this fact that Paul's dropping that you actually had dinner with Bela Lugosi in 1951. Patrick, is that true?
No, but I think that was Mrs. Phoenix that was there for that.
Mrs. Phoenix.
Yeah, I think that was Paul's mom that was there for that one.
Oh,
wasn't me. I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, Paul, but it slipped out. I mean, but yeah, that's a good question, though. I mean, that's a really good question. You know, more than an hour. I mean, if you could shadow one film director, which film director would you shadow and why?
What film director would I shadow?
Yeah.
Living or dead? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. If you could just sit there and see how they work and their process.
Probably Toby Hooper. I'd love to be on the set of the original TCM.
Yeah, did you see the remake?
I did see the new TCM.
And
meh.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who collects the films, who has invested in, your time and your money into the series or whatnot, does it disappoint you when you, as a fan, I'm not saying like some of these other people are, act like it's the real, like act like it really means anything, but it's just as a fan, I mean, is it a little disappointing to see a franchise like that?
The thing I always think of is they should have quit while they were ahead instead of making all these, generic sequels that are unnecessary.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, you wonder about that. Like some movies, I mean, I think here's the rule for sequels for me. I think if you're going to make a sequel to a hit movie, I think you should do it within 5 years. I just think that if you don't do it within the 5 years, I think you run the risk of this being forgotten, especially now. Maybe in the 80s and the 90s you could get away with that.
Well, look at how the new Matrix did. Everybody watched it and said it was so unnecessary.
Yeah, and
we didn't need another Matrix movie like 20 years after the fact.
No.
Same thing with James Cameron. What's the movie that everybody went and saw? James Cameron.
Avatar.
Avatar, and now they're talking about the Avatar 2 and 3 are finally happening. Like nobody's gonna care anymore, and everybody's gonna be like, "What's Avatar?"
Yeah,
I saw Avatar in theater, 3D IMAX, and I remember it being awesome. But if I think back to what the movie was actually about, I have no idea. I would definitely have to go and rewatch it before I watch any sequels to Avatar.
I still remember it pretty well. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long, long time, but I still do remember seeing it.
Well, you don't smoke weed every day.
No, I don't.
Well, that's the difference.
Let's see. Patrick was the expiration for Pai Mei and Kill Bill. Okay. All right. Paul's still trying to be the one stand up. Okay. Keep trying. Let's see. Davis mentioning he's one of my favorites. I loved him in The Elephant Man, The Edge, Solace, the Right. Of course. You're talking about Sir Anthony Hopkins. Yes, The Right is really underrated. Man, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I love The Right.
Me too. Nobody talks about it. That's a good one. But Avatar, yeah, that's a good point. See, I agree with you. I don't think when the Avatar 2 comes out, I don't think people are I don't think people are going to be. I don't think they're really going to be ready for it. I don't think they want it. I think the older fans have already moved on.
That's
and the
it.
younger, and the younger fans are going to come in there and they're going to see it as a threat to Marvel. So they're going to rip it, no matter
Yeah.
how good it is. So they're going to rip it because it's going to threaten Marvel.
What's up, 80s horror fan?
Yes, I also think that was also my favorite performance by Michelle Rodriguez. By the way, I thought she was amazing in Avatar. That was my favorite
See,
part.
I don't even remember her in Avatar, so.
Oh my God, she kicked ass. And that was the first time I actually, well, not the first time, but I remember Stephen Lang was in it. He played the bad guy, and it's like he played George Pickett in Gettysburg. Do you like I mentioned the true crime films or stories? So do you like true crime? I mean, do you like the documentaries?
Yeah, like I watch a lot of forensic files, and I like cold case files, and those hour-long programs where they show you a murder happened, and here's the suspects, and here's how we caught them, and then we finally tested the DNA and it matched. And I love cold case files especially. But yeah, I watch documentaries. I Don't Fuck with Cats was on Netflix about the guy that killed the cats and then killed a dude posted it on live on the internet. If you're gonna kill someone, don't post it live on the internet.
Right. Well, if he killed cats, he's not a very nice person.
He did kill cats.
Yeah.
What was the one, Making a Murderer? I watched that on Netflix. That was fantastic.
What do you think? What part of horror films do you think plays into that?
I guess the guy that the Don't Fuck with Cats guy, he was obsessed with the movie Basic Instinct. He had a big Basic Instinct poster above his bed. And then his bedroom was kind of set up the same way the bedroom was set up in the movie Basic Instinct. And then in the movie Basic Instinct, the killer kills the victim with the ice pick, and that's how he killed his victim, with an ice pick.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're crazy and twisted enough and you're a murderer, and I guess horror could work its way in there somehow if you've watched too much horror.
Do you?
But I mean, the percent that happens to, like, I'm sure 99% of people that watch horror movies don't then go out and perpetrate a murder in the same vein as a horror movie. Like, look at me. I've watched horror since I live, eat, and bleed horror. I don't go out and put a Freddy claw on and go kill people.
Right. Now, has there ever been any movie that you watched that you just said fuck that and just got up and like turned it off?
Because it was a bad movie, or because it was too unsettling?
Yeah, a little unsettling.
Not really. I'll watch anything.
I mean, you might watch it once, but it doesn't mean you'll rush back and watch it again, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of movies that I start and then it's like I can tell they shot this movie for $10 on their iPhone, and I'm like, I can't do it. It's just too bad a quality.
Right. Oh, yeah. I've seen some movies that it's just I mean, you can watch it once, and it's like I was surprised. I watched the Human Centipede one time. Would I rush back there and watch it again?
Did you watch part 2 and 3?
I haven't. Part 3 is so unwatchable. I do want to see part 2, so I will
Part
watch.
3 is funny because it's almost a parody of them.
Right.
If you go into part 3 watching it like kind of a parody of all the films, then you'll have a good time. There's some good one-liners in that too, and tiny listers in that.
I knew Eric Roberts was in it.
Eric Roberts.
I did not know that. I did not know that Debo was a centipede.
Yeah, tiny listers in that one.
You know, he was also in The Fifth Element.
Tiny Lister, I think Human Centipede 3, because didn't he die shortly after that?
After Centipede 3?
Yeah.
No. Centipede 3's been out for a while.
I know, but when did Tiny Lister die?
About a year and a half ago.
Let's research this.
Yeah, I think he had complications from COVID.
Oh, yeah. December 10th, 2020.
Yeah.
And Human Centipede 3.
I think that came out a while ago, because Dieter, the guy who played the doctor, he died after that movie came out.
2015.
Yeah.
So 5 years after.
Phil, if you had to pick a blockbuster year in history or horror movie releases, what would it be? His favorite year is 1982.
Yeah, I would say either 86 or 82. A lot of good stuff came out in 86.
You know, we hear a lot, speaking as an old timer, we always hear about the decades, the 70s and the 80s and 90s.
80s is my favorite decade for sure.
But holy crow, there's been so many great movies made in the 2000s. I mean, amazingly great movies coming out after the 2000s. I do think the 70s, though, were a decade of it was a decade of doom and gloom. I mean, there was no happy endings in the 70s movies.
No.
Has any movie or any performance ever caused you to cry? You ever cried at the end of a good horror movie because of the
cried at the end of a horror movie? I'm not a big crier. I cried a lot when my dad passed away.
Yeah.
I cried a few times the first and second shutdown when I was out of work and sitting at home not working. Just because they were calling me unessential. So it made me feel very unessential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I've cried at the end of any horror movies recently. There's some like kind of rom-coms. A lot of times the rom-coms, at the end of the rom-coms, I'll cry.
Yeah.
And I mean, not really cry, but my eyes will well up.
Sure.
And I will maybe grab a Kleenex and just dab. But I'm not sitting there bawling my eyes out.
No, you're human. You have emotions. So, when you see sure, they manipulate us, but sometimes it's okay to be manipulated.
With me, it's a lot of like, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
The end scene, like, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I get that.
Tugs at your heartstrings.
Yeah. Now you're Canadian. Everybody knows that.
People are telling you to get a haircut now. Get a haircut, hippie.
I see.
Cause wasting money.
Cause is on my ass for getting a haircut.
How about this? Your haircut's what, $18? If I PayPal'd you $30, will you go get a haircut tomorrow?
No, you don't have to do that, Bill. No, you don't have to do that.
Let everybody PayPal. Put your PayPal in the chat, and everybody PayPal Patrick some haircut money.
They would all pay. They would all probably donate a nickel, except for Sam. Sam would probably donate a quarter. Yeah, I'm sort of bummed out. Let me come back to that. So I agree. So let's talk about this part. You're a Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
Yep. So, do you have any affinity toward Canadian films or filmmakers or actors?
Love Canadian films. Black Christmas, The Gate, The Changeling, Curtains is fantastic. Yep, love Canadian films.
Do you feel Canadian films get short shifted by and by overall by the fans? I mean, they probably don't even realize that
I'm
a
sure
lot
a
of
lot of the people in the States see that a film was made in Canada and they're like, I don't want to see that. It's Canadian.
or they see that just as they see it that filmed up there because it costs less, so to speak. But Canada's horror community is really strong.
John Horton, what are your guilty pleasure movies? The Burbs, which I actually just watched the other day for the umpteenth zillion time. And as I was putting it into the Blu-ray player, I said, guilty pleasure movie. Love The Burbs.
What movie would you if you had to recommend 5 movies from your collection, or better yet, let's make it 10. If you had to take 10 movies from your own personal collection, for a desert island, what 10 would they be?
You need 10 for sure.
Yeah.
The Thing.
I'm putting you back in the video store, Phil.
All right, The Thing.
Okay. The Burb.
Psycho 1 and 2.
Now, see, can I be see when you mentioned they asked you about who would you like to have lunch with for an hour?
Yeah.
I almost blurted out Hitchcock.
Yeah,
I almost
Hitchcock would be another great one. Yep.
Yeah. And then he said Vincent Price. That surprised me. I thought you were going to say and then the director. I was a little surprised too. I thought you would have went with Hitchcock, but you went with Toby Hooper.
Yeah, TCM, the original Texas Chainsaw. I need that. Original Texas Chainsaw. I probably want Halloween. The OG Halloween. What am I at? 5?
That's what, 4, I think. Let's see, he put the thing,
Psycho 1 and 2, TCM.
Okay, TCM.
Halloween, that's 5.
5. Ghost Stories.
I'm gonna go the Fly remake with Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, Keith. Yes.
I hate
Halloween
sneezing.
78.
If you want to know what my worst pet peeve is? It's sneezing. Oh, I hate it.
Mary Wilson.
I'm gonna go Demons. Lamberto Bava Demons. What is that? 8?
That's 8.
I'll go Pieces and Maniac. OG Maniac and Pieces.
Okay.
That's 10.
Yeah, I'm with you about that. I would put Scanners in there too.
Scanners is a good Canadian flick shot in Toronto.
That's right.
Videodrome shot in Toronto.
Pretty much all of David I'm going to say right now, the greatest actor that Canada ever produces, Michael Ironside.
Ironside.
Yeah, fight me. There's nobody better.
Maniac 80.
What do you think about? I mean, what do you think about some remakes? I mean, I know some. We talked about sequels earlier, but what do you think about remaking?
Some are okay. I'm okay with the Friday the 13th remake. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I personally I have not seen the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, but I do know that Jackie Earle Haley was in it, and in the couple of clips that I actually saw on the tube, I thought he made an excellent Freddy. I mean, yeah, that's how I would see Freddy from the get go. I just never saw him as someone who cracking wise. I mean, he basically got burned to death. Got torched up. I don't know why anybody would come back and have jokes. I think I'd be like him, and I'd be rather pissed off at that, even though he was a child killer.
Good question from Anthony. Phil, have you ever had a real life encounter with a spirit, ghost, poltergeist, etc.? Do you have a story of a strange encounter? So yeah, when I was about 13 or 14, probably around 2:30 in the morning, I woke up with sleep paralysis. I don't know if anyone's familiar with sleep paralysis, but I basically woke up and couldn't move. And then when I opened my eyes, there was like definitely a shadow person moving out, like throughout my room. And I remember trying to scream, but nothing would come out. And yeah, probably the scaredest I've ever, how do you say that? The scaredest? The
Yeah,
scaredest I've
yeah,
ever
yeah,
been
yeah.
was, yeah, 13 or 14 years old, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up with sleep paralysis, couldn't move, and definitely witnessed a shadow person, which was about normal adult height, maybe 6 feet tall, moving throughout my bedroom. I used to sleep with my door locked at a very young age. I liked my privacy, so I could tell it wasn't one of my parents. There's another spam, Takara Phillips,
Yeah.
dropping some spam there.
Yep, I saw that. I'm sure the bones would kill that dead.
But yeah, sleep paralysis. That's the only time I've ever had sleep paralysis. Um, and since then, there have been nights where I'll be falling asleep and kind of almost asleep, but then you open your eyes, and I've thought, oh fuck, I hope I don't get sleep paralysis. And then I'll kind of move around a little bit and make sure I can still move. But yeah, sleep paralysis is definitely fucked up. It was
Yeah.
traumatic.
Now, without getting too personal, was that about the same time you lost your dad?
Nope. I lost my dad when I was 40 years old, so that was a long time before that.
Okay. Well,
No, I had
sometimes.
40 good years with dad.
So
Got
going back,
him.
yep, they got him.
All right, I've really got to pee, so I'll be right back.
Sure.
Actually, I'll be right back.
Put Pennywise up there. Yeah, so feel free to start dropping some questions for Phil, man. We'll get them going on there. I know there's a lot of questions. I still got a lot for them, so I hope you guys are having fun. This is a fun interview. I've learned a lot, you know. And when he gets back, we'll talk about the figures because I want to know how we got into that as well. Yeah, I know. We're gonna start talking about that, Dan, for sure. Uh, yeah, I collecting collectibles. That's that was new. I didn't really. I mean, growing up, the only thing I grew up I collected as far as that goes was magazines. That was pretty much all they had at the time. You know, they might have a cup at the 7-Eleven or something like that you could collect. But most of the only thing you could collect when you were younger, as far as a horror fan goes, was the magazines like Fangoria or Gore Zone or Rue Morgue someone put out there or the other ones we mentioned. That was the only thing you could actually collect. The figures things are all completely new. Um, Of course, we got to talk to him about. We'll have to talk to him about it. You know, the first one, the OG versus the new school. Hey, Charles, how are you, sir? Yeah, it doesn't look very good for baseball. Oh, yeah, model kits. Yeah, there are some. There are some, not too many. I actually was more into building model airplanes. Thank you, John. I'm glad you're here. Doing good, Charles. Yeah, thanks for coming out and supporting Phil's interview, man. This is a lot of fun. I've always wanted to talk to him about this, because he has the most one of the most extensive collections that we have in our community. So I've always wanted to know what was behind it. And yes, we will ask him to show off some of his stuff. I'm sure he will be happy to show us. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot more models now than there ever was, right? I mean, they're models. I think the only models we had were like the Universal monsters. And I remember sometimes some of the car models they would have like the Rat Finks or whatnot.
I'm back.
He's back.
Now,
All right.
I heard something about Pennywise when I was leaving.
Yeah, we thought you'd leave Pennywise behind as you do in your
I
life.
didn't leave Pennywise. I should have left the tombstone. Big shout out to Cody over at H&S Collectibles. Made me that.
Wow, look
Those
at
creepy
that.
vids will return tombstone.
Nice.
3D printed and painted by Cody himself.
That's pretty stealthy.
That is awesome.
That's pretty stealthy. I have to give it to Cody for that.
Yeah, was not expecting that. That was a little Christmas birthday gift. My birthday is this Saturday.
Okay, so, everybody, drop your PayPal so everybody can send Phil.
Happy birthday, Phil, in the chat.
That's right. Happy birthday, Phil, in the chat. And then we'll send him money for a haircut. Now, okay, let me ask
Records releases the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 on LP tomorrow. Ooh, Jamie Hart in the chat. What's up, Jamie?
Hi, Jamie.
Hope you're still liking that Billy the Puppet that I made you. I made her Billy the Puppet out of those perler beads.
Nice. That's right. Yes, you did. That's right.
She loved it.
And you made a homemade Sam, a handmade Sam.
I made this little clay handmade Sam. Yeah. This is all me.
You know, I haven't seen Sam for so long on Saturday nights. I forgot what he looked like.
So that's made out of clay.
To anybody.
Made out of clay. The lollipop stem is a toothpick. Little piece of a toothpick there.
It is. It's very cool.
Painted by me and then spray glossed by me, so he's nice and glossy. Standing on, I tried to make him stand on a little piece of chocolate. I don't know if it really looks like that, but
yeah, that's a cool piece.
Thanks, man.
So let's get into that here. So what I mean, growing up, you and I, when we were growing up, some of the folks in the chat too, we didn't have the figures like there is now. I mean, I think when you were gone, I said the only thing I really remember that you could collect as far as a horror fan goes was maybe a couple of commemorative cups or the magazine. That was pretty much.
I used to get back in the day. I used to get the Fangoria trading cards and Fright Pack trading cards. And then I got a lot of movie tie-in trading cards. I remember I had the whole E.T. collection of trading cards.
Oh, the one at Tots? Oh, that would be worth money today.
No, trading cards.
Yeah. Tops put out
Tops,
yeah.
ET, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I had a couple of those. I had the Star Wars too. But yeah, they're right. But it's nothing anywhere what it is today. I mean, today it's a multi-million-dollar market. So
Jamie, I hope you get your health in order. My thoughts go out to you, and I hope you get your health back on track there.
That's funny. Hannibal Rieger just came in through the door. I have a feeling he was looking for David.
Hannibal Rieger looks like spam.
I think he got. I think he got killed. What was the first figure that you got?
The first figure that I got, I couldn't even tell you.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, show us the one that you do remember getting.
Like one that I've had in my collection for a long time.
Yeah, probably the Stay Puft Man, right?
No, Stay Puft Men are, well, some of them have been with me for probably 20 years. Let's see the date on this guy. He came out with the, I think, a Blu-ray collection, 2008.
Now, do you think that figures and collectibles like that really enhance
That's Sideshow Collectibles Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that came out. You could only get this with the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray or DVD pack. But yeah, he's probably the first Stay Puft Marshmallow Man I ever had.
How many Marshmallow Men do you have? You have a lot.
I have 5 or 6. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now, do you think figures add a lot to your collection? I mean,
Yeah,
it enhances it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What did you think when what was the reaction like when people came inside your house the very first time and saw you had figures? They think there was something that was cool.
When people see my room for the first time, they're definitely overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I get a lot of, I've never seen anything like this. I'm overwhelmed.
What do you when you go film hunting? I mean, how do you do it? Do you go based on word of mouth? Like if someone finds something cool and they say, "Hey, by the way, Phil, I picked this up."
Yeah, social media has helped me out a lot. A lot of stuff I buy now, like I get hints from at Instagram, like people post, "This is coming out," and blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I need that." If I didn't see it on Instagram, then I wouldn't need it.
Right.
Do I own a Stay Puft suit? No, I don't. I have my own Stay Puft suit.
That's fun. I mean, I agree. I mean, you see it and then you go ahead and get it if you can. Someone says, by the way. I mean, do you do that for movie too? I mean, as far as watching like reviews?
Yeah, I see a lot of just the other day I saw on Instagram that Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is being released in 4K, big box set, posters, lobby cards, yada yada. Right. So as soon as I saw that, I went to the site, pre-order.
Okay. Where do you like shopping at? I mean, do you just shop strictly online, or do you ever just go out for a day?
No, there's a store in my mall called Sunrise, and then I have a huge comic toy store in my city called Heroes Comics, which is fantastic. I was actually just there today. I picked up my new Pennywise and the Crow figure from there today. So they know me. They know I'm a good customer. So usually anything that they get in horror wise, they'll text me about and say, "Hey, do you want this?"
Right.
And then they'll just set it behind the counter in a bag that usually says like Creepy Phil or something like that.
Okay. Now, how long you've had your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Like seriously had it?
Yeah, like it is now.
I started seriously doing YouTube videos. I'll tell you right now. Four years.
Okay. Now, how did you meet the crew from the Coast to Coast? Was there a whole community?
Through the community, I think I just started watching the Coast to Coast live stream and connected with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think David was probably the first one that I really started talking to. My kill count. I can't tell you my kill count. I've lost count of my kill count. It's definitely more than all my fingers and all my toes, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Are you a video game guy?
I do play some video games. Yeah, I have a PS3, PS4. I have this new little thing here. I don't know if you can see it, but where are we? Super Console X Pro. 50,000 classic games on that. Pretty cool. You play all your classic arcade games.
So were you surprised to see how many people were into horror once you came onto the tube? I mean, I understand the community was.
So I discovered that other people. Basically, I started watching. I think it was CG, and then a whole bunch of numbers after his name, and then Boogeyman Ben, who still to this day does YouTube. This CG guy has since taken down his channel. He doesn't do YouTube anymore. But they were showing off figures that I had in my collection. Like, I think Boogeyman Ben showed off the Gentle Giant Jason on the bed. And I was like, wait, I have that? And then I'm like, what? People watch what other people have horror related? I should show off some of the stuff I have. So I thought, I'll start making videos.
Now, when you do, as far as buying a movie or whatnot, do you just go strictly with your gut, or yeah,
I found that you got to be picky choosy, only buy what you really love. If you start buying everything that comes out, you'll go bankrupt. You can't buy everything.
Oh gosh, no, for sure. Now, as far as your movies go, now there's a lot of different sets, different films. Some of them you probably haven't even seen before.
No, I've seen everything I own.
Have you seen it before you buy it, or have you seen it after you buy it?
I'm probably like 80% of the stuff I buy, I've already seen. I don't love blind buying because sometimes you'll get burned.
Yeah. Well, I can see
you're like, oh, this cover looks really cool. I think I'll buy it. And then you bring it home and what's on the cover isn't even in the movie and it's a piece of shit. You're like, oh, I just blew $20 on a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you with that before you do that. I mean, there's blind buying where totally like you don't know zero about it.
Exactly.
There's also blind buying where you don't know anything about it, but you're going on a friend's recommendation.
Yeah.
Do you have the like if someone said, have you seen the new TCM and let's say David and Cody and Mark said that they liked it. They liked it. Now the rest of us here in this chat said that we don't like it. So let's say you have 15 of us saying going like it sucks, but then you got your 3 guys from your podcast that are saying, yeah, it's a good movie.
So I'll watch it and give it my own opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So I do that too. I can't always necessarily see every movie. So as far as what people say and recommend, I have a very small group of people whose ears I respect. If they say, hey, that movie's good, it's worth your while. And even though everybody else might say it sucks, I'm going to listen to that one. I'm going to listen to my friends because I trust their judgment.
Favorites So Bad They're Good movies. I love Flesh Eating Mothers. I love The Suckling. What was that?
Oh, Mom's a movie star? What? Holy cow.
No One Is Out There. I love that movie.
Okay.
But yeah, the Suckling and Flesh Eating Mothers is not a fantastic movie, but I love it.
Yeah. Is that a guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Phantom of the Mall, Phantom of the Paradise. Another excellent movie. Actually,
I don't like Phantom of the Paradise at all. I love Phantom of the Mall.
You don't like Phantom of the Paradise?
I do not.
Wow. Oh, because it's a musical, of course. Yeah,
kind of like a musical. And the lead actor in that, I don't love him. I don't really like him as an actor.
Yeah, Phantom of the Paradise is massively popular in Canada.
I wasn't
They,
aware of that,
yeah,
but
they
I can
actually have
probably see that.
yeah, they actually have a festival every year where they celebrate Phantom of the Opera or Phantom of the Paradise, and thousands come over and watch the movie and dress up and all that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet.
Um, let's see. As far as music goes, let's talk a little bit about music because are you a musical guy? I mean, I know that
Yeah,
I
so
like
I have my grade 13 drum, so I can teach people how to play drums. I don't currently have a drum set, but I mean it's like riding a bike. If I'm at a set of drums and they say, "Hey, do you want to play?" I'll play the set of drums and sound awesome. So I have my grade 13 drum, and I like hip hop, I like old school rap, I like gangsta rap. I like industrial, love Nine Inch Nails, love Prick, love Jane's Addiction. I like, pop rock, Def Leppard, stuff like that.
now. Do you have all the albums still, or did you go?
So I have an iPod, and I popped all my CD collection years and years ago onto iTunes and popped it onto I have a 160 gigabyte iPod Classic, which is 98 gig full of music. So it's like a month and a half constant listening of music. So yeah, my iPod Classic.
So, what do you think the health of the? What do you think of the health
I
of
do
the
play the drums. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. How about early Metallica, Anthrax?
Metallica, love Metallica, Anthrax. Yep. Slayer. Yep.
Yep, Slayer, Testament, Morbid Angel, Death Angel.
I'm done with Sergio. He treats me like a rag doll.
Is that a ragdolls and rag? Oh yeah, speaking of ragdolls, you have a cat.
I do have a cat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No,
she'll be 9 in May, and her name is Zoe. And she is a nice cat.
she is a nice cat. You're right. You showed us your cat before.
I never got into punk. I really, really liked Beastie Boys, but I would never buy any of their punk albums because I'm just not a fan of punk. Milli Vanilli, meh.
Yeah, the Ramones are way overrated, and the Sex
Yeah,
Pistols.
I'm not a huge
Sex
Ramones.
Pistols?
I'm not a huge Ramones fan
No,
or Sex Pistols.
no, Sex Pistols are overrated.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
liked Beastie Boys. Apple actually put out a really good Beastie Boys documentary with the two remaining Beastie Boys, basically giving the history of the band, and that's a fantastic documentary on Apple TV. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it immediately.
you do know that the Beastie Boy that died, right? Mike was it Mike V or whatever?
Yeah,
He founded a film studio, a
yeah.
Skilio. Yeah,
He died of throat cancer.
yeah. I don't know if I'm not sure if he was. I heard that. I didn't know. I don't know how he got it. I'm not sure if
He
I
went to Tibet and lived with monks for like a year and a half. Mike D, yeah, he's awesome.
actually. Yeah, he's the one that founded Oscilloscope. It's sort of like a step down, but they still got good movies. It's sort of like a step down from like A24 and IFC. It's one of those types of film studios. They,
STP.
they put out some Stone Temple Pilots. I know about that too. I know those guys. Got offered a show with them, but I turned it down. Yeah, I wanted there. I was after another band, and they took it away from me at the last minute because they got a bigger tour. And the agent says, I'll give you this new band, Stone Temple Pilots." And I'm like, eh. I said, I'm not really interested. Never really liked that band anyway.
I'm not familiar with the Seattle movement.
Oh my gosh, really? Okay, how about you? Well, you're a little away from the Seattle movement, but you remember that time during the '90s. Were you big? Was music big with you growing up? I mean, we
Oh
talked
yeah.
before and
Yep.
sports, but
Yep. I had a Walkman. Yep. I had a Walkman.
go very many concerts.
I did go to concerts. So I haven't been to a lot of concerts, but my two main ones that I remember going to, I went to 9 Inch Nails opening for Soundgarden, which was hilarious.
Yes.
And then I went to D12, so Eminem's rap band D12.
Yeah.
And a band called Cottonmouth Kings, which were all about smoking marijuana and rapping about it. So Cottonmouth Kings opened for D12, and that was a fantastic concert.
Yeah, I like Soundgarden. I love Soundgarden actually,
Yeah,
but having them play as a headliner with 9 Inch Nails was a big mistake. They just get overpowered.
yeah, I like Rush.
Oh yeah, that's your the Canadian band.
Yeah,
I liked Rush too, but it seems like now everybody is sort of harsh down on them.
yeah,
How important is a good musical score in a horror movie?
fantastic.
Got
Have you
any?
ever listened to have you ever watched a horror movie on mute? Doesn't work.
No,
Doesn't
no.
work.
I love scores. I think not soundtracks, but scores. I love a good score, and like I thought, like the most, like everybody knows Halloween. They know the thing to Halloween as soon as they hear it, or Friday the 13th, they know it. But I thought the last movie that really just had just an ass kicking score that really moved the movie along was It Follows.
It Follows, yeah.
Just an amazing. I was blown away by that. I was just like,
John Horton, Rush or Kiss. I got to go with Kiss. They're fantastic.
yes. Even though they do need wheelchairs to get around.
Paul says atmospheric music is everything. Yep. If you are too scared to watch a horror movie, watch it anyway, but press mute and it won't scare you. I can guarantee it. You might not know exactly everything that's happening because you can't hear what anyone's saying either. But I mean, you can't hear the creepy music, so it's not going to scare you.
Do you think this rule applies to good horror films, Phil? Do you think a good horror film can be produced by a major studio with a big name cast and a rated PG 13?
Sure. Yeah.
Or do you think
as long as it's done effectively?
Because it seems to me like that seems to be the boundary as far as there's been a lot of remakes or what have you done, and it seems like they try to tone down the violence of it a little bit. They make it underneath the PG-13, and it seems like it loses a lot of its punch when it's down rated PG-13. No matter who's directing it, no matter who's starring in it, it just seems like the PG-13 level just knocks the teeth out of it. Do you think it's a fair assessment?
Possibly. I've definitely watched PG-13 movies in the past where they are effective.
Are they still in your collection?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely have PG-13 movies in my collection.
Now
when Jaws was first released, it was released in PG.
Oh yeah, PG was way different back then. If Jaws wouldn't be released today as PG, that would probably be a hard R now, as it probably should have been back then. But they didn't have, it was a lot more liberal back then. I'm trying to think of the movie that came out that caused that. There's a movie that came out that was rated PG, but it was so violent that parents were upset about it, and they asked for another rating system, another layer. So they came up with PG-13.
I like Rob Zombie's movies. Yeah.
Let's see.
I love Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah, me too. Good movie. So what are you looking forward to? What's next for you in your collection? Are you going to go to any conventions? Are you going to go out there and there are any pieces out there that you want to add to your collection?
So I usually go to a convention once a year in my city called Shockstock, but it's been canceled for the last couple of years with COVID. So I have no idea if it's happening this year or not. But whenever it does happen, I will be in attendance. I always try and make an appearance at Shockstock. And as for Collectibles, I have pre-ordered a pretty sweet American Werewolf in London piece from Zavi, big bust thing. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I just buy as I go type of deal.
Do you think that you guys are rolling back your mandates? I see. So
We're
that should help
rolling
you.
back. Things are opening back up.
So that'll be you're looking forward to that, I take it.
Yes.
Uh
Yeah, the music in the movie Jaws made the shark very scary. Yeah, if you watch the movie Jaws on mute, I guarantee you won't be as scared.
I still think some of it would be effective. I mean, even today, Jaws is still effective. Some of the kills are still effective.
I think it might have been Gremlins. Yeah, Mr. Dan Hoare says maybe it was Gremlins.
It might have been. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, I think that was one of the movies that they were upset about. They thought it was a little bit too violent.
Oh, hey, happy Twin Peaks Day.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna have another cup of fine coffee. And there goes the cat shark. Okay, Cheetah. This is yeah. Okay, thanks, Cheetah. Everybody wants to get in the act. Why don't you show us your 5 favorite pieces in your room, or show us a couple of shelves before we let you go.
5 favorite pieces. How far does my webcam stretch? Let's just see what I can do here.
While Phil does that, just the guys let you know that Phil is going to be doing a new stream on March 1st, along with David's Horror and Halloween PDX and Hobbs Horror on March 1st. What time will that show start, David? Hopefully it won't start until like 9 o'clock.
That's my favorite piece of my collection. It's limited to 350 worldwide. It's Jason Voorhees on the bed from a deleted scene in Freddy vs. Jason.
Okay. Those are really nice.
Made of resin, so he's very breakable.
Yeah, I bet.
Then I really like kind of the twin piece that came out with him. It's Freddy Krueger sitting on a chair. And I believe that came out with the Dream Child. Love my basket case.
If it's almost coming to you and they've never seen a horror movie before, what horror movie would you tell them to watch?
Probably The Exorcist.
Yeah. I just finished watching a movie with Ellen Burstyn, who actually did the reverse. She played a woman that could heal.
Got Leatherface, Cult Classics 2, Cult Classics Hall of Fame, Sackhead Jason. Really cool killer clowns, kind of like a motion activated light and sound thing from Spirit Halloween.
Nice.
Got some statues there behind my futon. There's Sleepwalkers and Maniac and Night of the Living Dead.
Now, when your collection gets this big, do you recommend people insuring it?
I would insure your collection, yes. Just show off the wall of stuff.
Yeah, that's an amazing collection. That's absolutely just brilliant. And you've been collecting figures since for how long?
Since I was 15.
15.
So you still got those 73
cards?
to 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 1988. There's Sam.
Yeah.
And then above where I film my YouTube, I have my Sam shrine. So it's all my Sam stuff.
So Sam's basically your very favorite icon, isn't he?
Next to Jason, I would put Sam up there. He's just so cute and lovable.
Yeah, until you put your ass in the bag.
You won't be putting my ass in no bag. Everyone comments on my Dally clock.
Oh, okay.
My melting dolly clock.
Do they know what it is, or they just
I
say
have
which
no
one?
idea. I just
Yeah,
laugh when I do my room tours. There's always one or two people who are like, "Where did you get that clock?"
they probably think it's from Alice in Wonderland.
Now I gotta readjust this camera.
I'm gonna turn it over. Let you see. John's asking you, do you like the Howling movies, and should they do a reboot?
I
Good
do like
question.
Howling 1, 2, and 3 a lot. 4 is not my favorite. I love part 5, where it's basically like a 10 little Indians in the castle, like whodunit murder mystery, only the murderer's a werewolf. Love part 5. Out of all the Howling movies next to part 1 and 2, I'll probably watch part 5 the most. I wish that part 5 would get a really good Blu-ray or 4K release. Because it definitely needs an upgrade.
Yeah. Is there any one movie that hasn't been released yet that you want to see released?
Lots of movies.
Give
I can't think of them offhand, but movies that I have on DVD that I'd love to see get a Blu-ray release. May with Angela Bettis. I'd like a good Blu-ray of that. What else? Sorority House Massacre 1, 2, and 3, I think. Strangeland with Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister needs a good release.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like that.
Everybody, this last round for questions. If you have any questions you want to ask Phil about his film collection or his figure collection or his favorite actor or actress, director, producer, whatever,
Ask me whatever.
Ask him whatever. And David mentioned, he mentioned about the Screaming of the Lambs, horror chit chat, some trivia, and maybe a few prizes for the chat participants. So that'll be a good thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, I will be donating 0 prizes. So you ain't getting nothing from me.
Zero prize. No Stay Puft. No Stay Puft Man.
I'm not sending anyone my Stay Puffs. But I will answer some trivia. Bring it on. I love good horror trivia nights.
Well, I think you're going to be expected to provide the questions, not the answers.
I do have some good horror trivia questions to ask.
There you go.
Trivial Pursuit Horror Edition.
Oh boy. I did not know they had that. All right. May definitely need a Blu-ray. Sorority House series would be cool too. The prize was donated by you, Phil.
Great. A duplicate. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Okay. I know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Okay, so there you go. Listen, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know you got to
work a 12-hour tomorrow.
Yeah. No, this has been great, Phil. I know I asked you a ton of shit, and you answered it all.
I love the first Suspiria. I love the remake. I love the 4K of Suspiria. It's one of the best looking 4Ks I think I've ever seen. It's a fantastic 4K.
Let's see. Yep. See.
Love Trivial Pursuit. Yeah, we should set up a horror Trivial Pursuit night. That'd be fun, where all the chat guesses the answers to the questions.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen a little bit on what time is the Silence of the Lambs show starting, David?
I hope it's starting at 8:00. That's what time I hope it's starting.
I was sort of hoping it would start at 9:00 so I could get my interview with Jennifer in.
Well, I have to work a 12-hour the next day, and
No, I understand.
Even ending at 9:27 tonight, man.
Yeah. Let me
I
get
have
you
to
out of
just
here.
watch a little TV and then go to bed.
Yeah, I'll get you out of here right now. Hey, so everybody, thanks a lot for showing up for Phil. I
Yeah,
appreciate
everyone in
it
the
so
chat,
much.
thanks so much for tuning in. I
Yeah.
appreciate each and every one of you. Keep supporting each other,
Yep.
and
We haven't
let's
connected
see
with each
this
other.
this
Yep.
horror community keep on growing.
Okay, next week is our first week of Women in Horror Month. We'll start off with March 1st. We have our own very own Jennifer Tochi will be here with us at 8 o'clock. On March 2nd, we have actress Tatiana let me see that. Do it right. Marinovic will be here with us on Wednesday the 2nd. And then Thursday, March 3rd, we have actress Dolores Wheeler will be here. That's our first week of Women in Horror Month. You can see Phil every Saturday night from 9 p.m. at 9 p.m. 9:15, unless there's a UFC show. He'll be on the Coast to Coast stream along
I
with.
always try and make it. If UFC ends at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm not jumping on live. I'm going to bed.
He and along with David, Cadaver Club Ben, and Cody from H&S Collectibles. Thank you guys all so much for your support, and we'll see you on the midnight hour at 10 o'clock.
Love all you guys.